front piece. Just this one. Okay, there we go. There we go. Bit of technical difficulties. Everybody needs a little bit of technical difficulties, I think. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Okay, maybe start there. Say maybe this sort of situation.
Do you mind if I talk for a while about something I love? About water and the ocean. Ever since I can remember anything at all, the light, the smell, the sound and motion of the sea has been pure magic. Even the mere intimation of its presence. If ever I have to get away from it all, and in the words of a Chinese poet, wash all the wrongs of life from my pores, there's simply nothing better than to climb out onto a rock and sit for hours with nothing in sight but sea and sky. Although the rhythm of the waves beats a kind of time, it's not clock or calendar time. It has no urgency. It's timeless time. Because I know I'm listening to a rhythm which has been just the same for millions of years. And it takes you out of the world of relentlessly ticking clocks. Clocks, for some reason or other, always seem to be marching, and armies never march to anything but doom. But there's no marching rhythm in the motion of waves. It harmonizes with breath. It does not count our days. Its pulse is not in the stingy spirit of measuring, of marking out how much still remains. It's the breathing of eternity, like the Brahma of Indian mythology, who inhales and exhales, manifests and dissolves the worlds, endlessly, forever.
Okay, so what I just did was just put my music on and improvise the whole piece. It was a little bit of a structured improv, simply from the perspective of having had a few sections already figured out or lightly mapped out in my head. Yeah, so during this run through, I was really just working with the idea of play and having fun because I finally brought in my props. I had both fabrics that I need for my piece in the studio today, and they really added a lot, especially this one. It's kind of iridescent, and it reminds me of props that I work with in flow arts. And it reminds me also of when I was a child and I used to have, different toys that were kind of like just flowy or dancey sort of props. I had this one prop when I was a kid that was like a comet with a sparkly rainbow tail that came off of it, and you could just spin around with it and dance with it, and it made this like really cool crackly sound, and it kind of reminded me of that. Like I kind of used that memory to tap into the energy I'm looking for with this piece, which is joy. I used that memory of when I was a child, and when I would just go outside and be dancing with my comet or my silk scarves or something like that, and I would just feel so happy, and I would just feel like I could get lost in that for hours. I feel like I've like really tapped into something important here. I want this piece to feel like that. I almost want it to be like you could almost forget that the kind of storyline of the piece is I'm doing a river cleanup, and you could just start to feel like it's just someone in nature having a play and just like metaphorically splashing in the wave. I feel really happy. I haven't watched the replay yet because it's like 15 minutes long, but I caught glimpses of myself in the mirror, and I caught glimpses of myself on the camera. And I feel like it looks so cool, or like it looks so just like simple, but like a good sort of simplicity, because when I have people watching this, I want them to sort of feel lost in the feeling of just seeing somebody who is in nature and loving it, and also out of the outflow of loving nature has decided to do a little bit of a river cleanup, and that's what the brown fabric was that was around my neck. And it's meant to have bits of recycling sewn to it and that sort of thing. But yeah, I feel really good. I feel much better than I did after my last session where just nothing was coming to me. I think it really works for me to be sort of like, quote unquote, sitting by the river once the piece starts, because I wanted to have the piece start with my back to the audience and almost like I'm sitting on a rock or something like Alan Watts talks about, and then I decide to go over to the river. But I think starting off this way, it gives a much clearer picture of my intent, which is to be at the river, to clean it up, and also to splash in the waves and have a play. And then I also think it really works to have the bit of like mucky water with the trash on it around my neck for a while, because it's like this sort of thing where, if you care for the world around you, like you do have to get a little bit messy to be able to like do the work that needs to get done and that sort of thing. So I think symbolically that really works to just like leave it around my neck and dance with it a little bit. Because like also the thing with where we're at with climate change, it's also really important for us to be able to like acknowledge it and not push it away and not be afraid of it. So I think, yeah, just in like literally just one run through here in the studio, I think I've tapped into some really important ideas that give me a lot more clarity about how I want the piece to look and everything. When just 2 days ago I was in the studio and I was like, I don't even know how to start this piece. I don't know how to structure it. I have one section of choreography actually done and nothing else. So now I feel like, with a little bit of polishing, a little bit of cleaning up, a little bit more like solidifying ideas, I think that my piece will be well on its way to being completed. I feel satisfied with that one run through. I might leave it for now because I think I have some studio time booked later. So I think I'll leave it for now. I'll leave it while I'm ahead, and I'll come back to it in a few hours' time. So yeah, that's all for now. Bye-bye.